చూడండి ఎంత బాగా పాడుతుందో చిన్న శృతి.
हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरि बोल। हरे कृष्ण।
Jai Hari Bol, Shruti, for the wonderful ecstatic kirtan, and Yogeshwar Prabhu, thank you so much. Very nice to see Shruti. Hari Bol, always very inspiring. Wonderful, wonderful. Gauranga, Hari Bol. Thank you, Shruti. So, we'll start today's session. If Shruti is possible, maybe 5 minutes more you can do Kirtan. Is it okay? Or you can sing Jai Radha Madhava. Shruti, able to hear me?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, Jai Radha Madhava or Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Few more minutes. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Mataji.
Thank you.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Jari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. बिहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन
यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन
यमुना तीरवनचारी
यमुना तीरवनचारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev,
Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Shri Radha Madhav ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanand.
Ah. Hari 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 Bol. Wonderful to hear Shruti and Yogeshwar Prabhu again. Thank you so much for the wonderful ecstatic kirtan. Hare Krishna. So we welcome all the devotees for the Chaitanya Charitamrita session today. So I think for the last few weeks, we have been seeing the appearance day of different personalities because it came exactly on the same day. So we had Advaita Acharya's appearance, Nityananda before that, Nityananda Prabhu's appearance day, and then we had also Shivaratri was quite near, so we also had a session on Lord Shiva, and Gaut Purnima. 2 weeks we had the special program, and devotees did the drama and all that. So we are now getting back to our Chaitanya Charitamrita where we left. And of course, wherever and whenever there is special days, we'll touch on those special topics. In fact, I'll be making an announcement this coming Friday. We have Shiva's Pandit Appearance Day, and we will have a special session. But today we will be continuing with our Chaitanya Charitamrita session. We will start with the verse from where we left. Before that, we'll offer our prayers. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So I will share a verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita, and then we will read that. So we are reading from Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 18, Lord Chaitanya visits to Vrindavan. This is the one. So reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 18, verse 84. Prabhura Rupa Prema Deki Haila Chamatkara Prema Veshe Prabhure Karena Namaskara. Prabhu of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Rupa Prema, personal beauty and ecstatic love, Deki seeing Haila Chamatkara, became astonished. Prema Aveshe, in ecstatic love, Prabhure to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Karena Namaskar, offer obeisances. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Upon seeing the Lord's personal beauty and ecstatic love, Krishna Dasa was very much astonished. Out of ecstatic love, he offered his respectful obeisances unto the Lord. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Bhangam Langayate Girim Yatkripa Tamaham Mande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Prabhura Rupa Prema Deki Haila Chamatkara Prema Veshe Prabhure Karena Namaskara. Upon seeing the Lord's personal beauty and ecstatic love, Krishnadas was very much astonished. Out of ecstatic love, he offered his respectful obeisances unto the Lord. Basically, we are in Madhya Leela. This chapter's name is Lord Chaitanya visits to Vrindavan, and how we know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Vrindavan, and how all the trees, the creepers, the animals, the birds, everyone were so welcoming, to the Lord. And the Lord also visited various places in Vrindavan. We had a very special session about Rajamandal Parikrama, how the Lord traveled around the 12 forests of Vrindavan, Rajadam. So in that way, the Lord was actually traveling all over Vrindavan, giving his mercy to so many people. And here, the particular pastime, what we are going to see is that Mahaprabhu is now at Akrura Tirtha, in Imli Tala. And he's this particular place pastime happens in Imli Tala, which is a very favorite place of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which I was mentioning when we were doing Rajamandal Parikrama also. Because in this Imli Tala is a place dear to Srimati Radharani. It's a tamarind tree, Imli, where Srimati Radharani comes and she sits there and she remembers Krishna so much. When Krishna went to Mathura, Srimati Radharani would come and sit in his place and would meditate on all those wonderful association and pastimes together they had, in Vrindavan. So when Mahaprabhu came, because Mahaprabhu in the mood of Srimati Radharani also liked this place very much, and he would sit here and remember the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. So this particular pastime happens when there was one person by name Krishnadas. There are many Krishnadas who comes in our Chaitanya Charitamrita. So this Krishnadas is called Rajput Krishnadas because he is from the Rajput caste, the Kshatriya caste. So once what happened, this Kshatriya by name Krishnadas, he came to the place where, Imli Tala, where Mahaprabhu was sitting. And when he came there, he saw Mahaprabhu so beautiful. That's what this particular verse says, the personal beauty of the Lord. Mahaprabhu is so beautiful. Generally, when we were children, we will be very happy, and when we grow, probably the beauty is there. But when we grow old, the beauty reduces. But whereas the Mahaprabhu, whether he is a child or whether he is in his Kaishora age or in his Yavana or whatever part of the life, the Lord is always beautiful, eternally beautiful. And beauty is also considered as a weapon of the Lord for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because all the avatars, they were carrying weapons like bow and arrow, or some sword, some shield, some kind of weapons. Whenever the avatar, the Lord took avatar, they always have some weapons. And even if you see all the devatas, they will be having some weapons. But when he came as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his weapon was two weapons. One weapon is the Hare Krishna mantra, and the other weapon is his personal beauty. Just by looking at his beauty, many people became devotees. We could see that Prakashananda Saraswati, one hardcore Mayavadi impersonalist, and he was so proud of his scholarly expertise and his knowledge of the Vedic scriptures. He was so proud, and there were so many sannyasis who were under him. And when Prakashananda Saraswati just looked at Mahaprabhu and seeing his effulgence and bodily beauty, he was completely, stunned and attracted. to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in that way, we see in Chaitanya Charitamrita, many personalities, they got attracted to the transcendental beauty of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So here also we see Krishnadas, when he saw, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, just by looking at his personal beauty and his ecstatic mood of devotion, he was completely astonished. We see the same thing happen to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya also. When Mahaprabhu saw Lord Jagannath, he was in ecstasy, fainted down. Then when Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya saw, who is this very effulgent, beautiful sannyasi lying down in such an ecstatic mood, that actually attracted Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who was also that time one of the hardcore impersonalists. So Mahaprabhu used this beauty, his personal beauty, as one of the weapons to attract the conditioned souls, to his lotus feet. So here the Krishnadas, the Kshatriya, he's an householder, and he got very attracted looking at the beauty of the Lord. And he offered respectful obeisances to Mahaprabhu. Before we will get into the slide, I just wanted to read that. The devotees have made a slide. Yes, I will share the slide. So then what happened was, when Mahaprabhu saw, that this Brahmana, the Kshatriya Krishnadasa was offering respects, then he was inquiring from him. You're able to see?
Yes, Mataji, you can see.
Yeah, okay. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy on Rajput Krishnadas, that's what we are going to see today. And so then what happened was, Mahaprabhu asked him, okay, so what is your name and where are you coming from? Where is your home? And then Krishnadas said, I'm from a Kshatriya family. I'm a very fallen householder. I'm a very fallen householder. And then I am from the Kshatriya Rajput caste. And he was saying that, I have come, my dear Lord, as per a dream. He had a special dream, and the dream has brought him here to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he was requesting, my Lord, I want to be a servant of a Vaishnava. So that's a mood in which this Kshatriya approached Mahaprabhu. And he was saying that my house is just on the other side of the Yamuna river. Then immediately Mahaprabhu, embraced the Rajput Krishnadas and showered his causeless mercy upon him. And not only that, he gave his remnants, which is very rare to get, Mahaprabhu's remnants. And then he also allowed this Krishnadas to follow him. And he was carrying the kamandalu and water, the water pot of the sannyasi in his Vrindavan trip. So we see that what attracted the mercy of, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the mood of this Krishnadas. It's a takeaway for us is that whenever anyone approached Mahaprabhu in a very humble mood, thinking that he don't possess anything, but rather everything, he's dependent on his mercy. And if anyone says that he's a servant, he wants to be a servant of a Vaishnava. When I'm remembering this, I just want to say one very nice point which I was hearing recently, was that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said once when he was in the ashram, one person came to the temple, and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur asked, "Who are you?" And for that, the person replied, the devotee replied, "I am servant of Krishna." So then Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, "Oh, okay, you are servant of Krishna. Okay, you can go to the pujari room and there are some, services there. You can wash the pots, you can, do some service." And then another devotee came, and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati asked, "Who are you?" For that, he replied, "I am a servant. I am servant of my spiritual master." When Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur heard, he was very pleased, and he said that, "Oh, okay, you come with me. Let me share with you something, some knowledge." which I have, heard. And he was immediately pleased, and he said that I cannot deal with people who are direct servants of Krishna, because that is a very higher level. So I have nothing to do with those people. But I like to seek company of those who thinks themselves as a servant of a Vaishnava, servant of a spiritual master. So that was the mood. So directly serving Krishna is very difficult, and neither we have the qualification. So it is always wise, to go through the bona fide parampara, being a servant of the spiritual master or the Vaishnavas, because we do not have to worry much, because they will hold our hand and they will take us to Krishna. But if our own endeavor, we need to reach Krishna or we have to serve Krishna, it is totally difficult, because our senses are so imperfect and we are so conditioned with that impure heart, with so much of conditioning, with no proper intelligence. How are we going to, even if Krishna stands in front of us, will we be able to offer that respect to Krishna? Will we be able to offer that kind of pure service to Krishna? It's not possible. So that's why all our acharyas in our line, they were always, they have sung so many wonderful songs and prayers, requesting the Lord that I like to be, the servant of my spiritual master or servant of a Vaishnava. They never wanted to be servant of Krishna directly, even though our constitutional position is Jivera Swarupa Hoy Krishna Nitya Das. We are eternal servants of Krishna, but telling that I am servant of Krishna is arrogance. Is a kind of arrogance. So when we actually feel that we are actually servant of a spiritual master or the Vaishnava, then that actually gives the mood of humility. So, and it is not just saying it, but actually feeling it, experiencing it, and living by it. So this reminds me of a very beautiful pastime also, very, very beautiful pastime happened in the time of Sri Ramanujacharya. So Ramanujacharya had many Siksha Gurus also, and one of them is by name Kanchipurna. Kanchipurna was such an exalted Vaishnava, He was directly serving the Lord of Kanchipuram, Kanchi, that is Varadaraja. Lord Varadaraja is one who gives Vara. Vara means benediction. Varada, Da means who gives benediction. And Raja means king, king of one who gives benedictions. So Varadaraja, Lord Varadaraja is very, very merciful. And this beautiful temple is in Kanchipuram, where recently there was an Atti Varadar, who appears, after so many years. Once in a while, you get such kind of a rare darshan. This Varadaraja, Lord Varadaraja, the personal pujari of Lord Varadaraja was Kanchipurna. And Kanchipurna was such an exalted devotee that he can directly talk with Krishna. He will directly talk with Lord Varadaraja. He will say, my dear Lord, how are you? You are keeping well. And he had a lot of questions. Many people will come and ask questions to Kanchipurna. I have this doubt, I have that doubt. And this Kanchipurna will go to Lord Varadaraja and he will submit all the questions. My dear Lord, this question has been asked by this devotee. Could you kindly answer this question? And the Lord would talk. And Kanchipurna could listen, and then he will go and tell the people. And his service was, fanning the Lord, Chamara Seva. And he will do Chamara, looking at the beautiful form of the Lord, and the Lord will talk and he will talk. Just imagine the level of devotion and the level of relationship what Kanchipurna was having with Lord Varadaraja. Such an exalted position, right? So, so like that, he was every day talking with the Lord, and everyone in the town knew that Kanchipurna had such a close, intimate relationship with the Lord. So they would approach Kanchipurna for any kind of queries. And Kanchipurna also very humbly, he will go and submit all those in front of the Lord. So this was going on. So one fine day, what happened was, there was one devotee who came and approached Kanchipurna, and he asked a very wonderful question. he asked a question, my dear Kanchipurna, could you kindly ask Lord Varadaraja, when will I go back to Godhead? When will I go back to Vaikuntha? So, Kanchipurna took the question and went to the Lord, and he said, so and so devotee, my dear Lord, approached me and asked this question that when he will go to Vaikuntha. For that, the Lord replied, my dear Kanchipurna, this person, at this end of the life, this devotee will come back to my abode in Vaikuntha. And Kanchipurna was very happy, and he went and told the devotee. And one day he was thinking, okay, I am asking questions on behalf of so many devotees. What about myself? Will I go back to Vaikuntha? Let me ask the Lord. So he went to the Lord, my dear Lord, I have a question, personal question. Will I be able to go to Vaikuntha in this lifetime? Just imagine the humility of Kanchipurna, such an exalted Vaishnava, very intimate, talking to the Lord every single day. Why should he ask this question to the Lord? But how sweet. He went and asked the Lord, my dear Lord, is there a possibility that I am going back? And then the Lord replied, oh, my dear Kanchipurna, I am very sorry. You may have to wait. And he was very stunned and shocked, that he was probably, because he's anyway serving the Lord who would give him that mercy. He was very surprised. And then he said that, oh, okay. And he was referring, another devotee also asked. So he said, okay, this devotee will go. Yes, this devotee will go, but you have to wait. So he said, that devotee, why that devotee is going back? Because he's serving you. He was actually serving Kanchipurna. What he will do now, Kanchipurna, after closing the temple in the night, putting the Lord to Sayana rest, then he will go back home. And on the way, it will be very dark. And so this devotee, he will hold the torch, in those days, it's like a lamp. So he will take the lamp and then accompany Kanchipurna till his house, so that he is able to see the path. So the Lord would say, because he is serving you, my dear devotee, so he will go back to Godhead. He will come to me at the end of his life. But you are only serving me. You are not serving any Vaishnavas. So you have to wait. And Kanchipurna got very upset. And then he said, and at one point he went to Lord Vardaraja and said, okay, Hare Krishna, you told me that I'm only serving you. I'm not serving any Vaishnava. Okay, Hari Bol. I'm taking a break. I'm going there. I'm going to find a Vaishnava and I'm going to serve. And he went around and looking for all the Vaishnava, but no Vaishnava will give him service now. Because Kanchipurna directly talking to the Lord, who will accept him as a servant? No one was ready to give any service to Kanchipurna. Oh, Kanchipurna, everyone falling at his feet. And Kanchipurna saying, give me service. What service we can give you? Please allow us to serve you. And Kanchipurna was very embarrassed because no one is giving service. And he was thinking, oh, if I don't serve Vaishnavas, what is the, I cannot go back to the Lord. So he was looking and he thought, okay, if I go in my original, form, people are not accepting. So he disguised himself and then he went, to a devotee's house, very exalted Vaishnava's house. And he said that, I'm just, if you give me some shelter, I can do some small seva. And he was going to the cow shed. He was staying in the cow shed of the devotee. And then he was washing, all the cleaning the cow shed, cleaning the cows and, doing all those menial service for that Vaishnava's family. And when he did all these different things, then later, of course, one fine day they saw, and he was, a devotee, no one can hide a devotee's devotion. Even he may be disguised, physically, externally, but who can hide the devotion, right? So at one point they could see that he was very ecstatically chanting and dancing, and they could find out, oh, this is not an ordinary person, this is Kanchipurna. And they said, oh, how did you do this? We have committed a great aparad by making you do all the menial service. And they were falling at the feet and, asking for forgiveness. And then anyway, Kanchipurna now thought, okay, anyway, I cannot continue service. I'm going back. And he asked the Lord, my dear Lord, what you're saying now, is there any possibility I can, come back to Vaikuntha? And then, yes, now you are eligible to come back because you have done menial service to the Vaishnava. So very interesting to see that, all our acharyas, how they want. And spiritual master is considered to be one of the topmost elevated Vaishnava, who is always thinking, meditating in serving the instructions of the previous acharyas. So that's why he is very dear to the Lord. He's also not directly thinking to serve the Lord. He's also thinking how my predecessor acharyas, what they have done, so many desires they had to serve the Lord. Will I be able to contribute something towards fulfilling those desires of the predecessor acharyas? So like that, each spiritual master is carrying in their heart the instructions of the previous acharyas, which is nothing but serving Krishna. That's all. So in that way, Krishna becomes so pleased. And that's what happened to here Rajput Krishnadas, a very simple householder. He did not do big tapasyas and big austerities and nothing. Very simple householder. He just saw Mahaprabhu only one time. And he fell, just by looking at his beauty and ecstatic devotion, he just offered obeisances and he considered himself, I'm just a fallen householder. And, I am, please shower your mercy and I want to be a servant of a Vaishnava. That's all. That one sentence captured Mahaprabhu. And he gave that mercy, which even great personalities did not get. Like Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, scholar, Vedanta. He was saying, I am a Vedantist, right? I'm a great scholar. And 7 days he made Mahaprabhu sit and hear his lecture. Right? But here, those great logicians and impersonalists, Vedantists, who could not get the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only after a long time, after they got, humbled. But here we see the simple householder, Kshatriya householder, just by his mood of wanting to be a servant of a Vaishnava, captured the heart of Mahaprabhu and got his entire mercy. Lord gave remnants also. And then make him, and also allowed him to accompany him in the entire journey. So that was very, very amazing. So it shows the greatness of spiritual master, acharyas, and all the Vaishnavas. So the desire to be servant of, not to desire to be servant of the Lord directly, but desire to become servant of spiritual master and Vaishnava. Then what happened was Mahaprabhu is, oh, sorry. I think I have to go back. So Mahaprabhu, so this he gave so much mercy to the Rajput Krishnadas, and then what happened was after that, when many people approached Mahaprabhu, and then they were making one rumor was going around. What was that rumor? Was that everyone was talking that, oh, Krishna has again come from Dwa. No, Krishna was again manifested in Kali Yuga. That's what the rumor going on. And not only that, Krishna is dancing on the Kaliya snake. Many people said that we have seen it. And this was a rumor going on, and they all came to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and they told Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that we have seen Krishna. Krishna is manifested again. And he was dancing on the Kaliya snake, and we could see the hoods were shining and effulgent and so bright, like that they were saying. And Mahaprabhu was like kind of looking at them like that. And the interesting bit was Balabhadra Bhattacharya, who was actually traveling secretary of, who was traveling with Mahaprabhu, as you know, who was taking the water pot and everything. Balabhadra Bhattacharya, to the surprise, he asked Mahaprabhu, oh, all the people are telling that they have gone and seen Krishna directly. So could you please give me permission so that I can also go and see Krishna directly? This is really a point to be noted, and Srila Prabhupada gives a very beautiful purport with a lot of instructions there. Just imagine, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than Krishna himself, and the Lord is just in front of him. And Balabhadra Bhattacharya is an associate of Mahaprabhu, constantly traveling. But here he is fooled by other fools who are actually, kind of spreading this rumor that they have seen Krishna, and how he believed it. And Mahaprabhu was asking him a question, why Krishna has to manifest now? You do not have to go, you wait, and tomorrow if you want, you can go. Mahaprabhu chastised him in a very gentle way. And then what happened the next day? A group of people came, and then Mahaprabhu asked, so have you seen Krishna? And then the people said that it was actually not Krishna. What happened was, it was like, in the river, from a distance, there was a fisherman in a boat. He was actually holding a torch and he was fishing in the night. And from a distance, when you see, many things looks different, right? So the boat appeared to be like a kalia from a distance, and the torch which he was holding was looking, was like the effulgence coming from the snakes, the kalia snake, and people mistook the fisherman to be Krishna himself. And this went around, and everyone thought from a distance, oh, Krishna. And one person says, and everyone follows, like a blind leading blind. So that was happened. And even Balabhadra Bhattacharya, okay, common people can mistake, people can, kind of spread rumors. But an associate of Mahaprabhu, how he got bewildered. And Srila Prabhupada mentions that Maya is so strong that anyone can at any time get bewildered. It is not that, okay, I am in association, so I will not get bewildered. We can get bewildered even at any point. I think even before we saw a story of Kala Krishnadas, right? He was also accompanying Mahaprabhu, and how he was carried away by the gypsy women, the tribal women. They allured him and took him, and then he followed them. And then Mahaprabhu had to go and personally pull him, from the group. Sometimes, so these lessons are shown. Why these kind of pastimes are shown is that how one has to be very, very careful. Sometimes, we may be in a very wonderful, protected, loving association of devotees, but, we may mistake, we may easily get kind of, carried away. Even in an association, if people can be carried away in the presence of Mahaprabhu, what to speak about just, in a kind of association, anyone can get, carried away. So we have to be very, very careful. And we see here that Srila Prabhupada mentions that when we get illusioned, when we are carried away by Maya, what happens? Ordinary people look like Krishna, and Krishna looks like an ordinary person. And that's what happened here. Balabhadra Bhattacharya, in front of his eyes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there, who is none other than Krishna himself. Radha Krishna, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahi Anya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not different from Radha and Krishna. But he is thinking, he has, in a sense, he has taken Mahaprabhu as an ordinary person. And he's thinking of seeing someone as Krishna who is actually an ordinary human being. So this is what happens to us also. If we are not, firmly fixed, in our Krishna consciousness, then what happens is that we can also be anytime allured, and we may consider, that's why, you see that many times ordinary people are considered as Krishna. People, do them Abhishek and do this and that and all that. And they also cheat innocent people. But sometimes the Supreme Lord is questioned. We see that many times what happened, somebody in a saffron dress may cheat, and people go and, do all sorts of things. But people don't take the value of Krishna's word so seriously. People may go behind a cheating, person and consider himself to be a great sadhu or a guru or whatever, and then give their lives. But people may not take the value of Bhagavad Gita and Krishna, who is the Supreme Lord, absolute truth, and the real personality. So that's what happens. So here we see in this pastime also, even Balabhadra Bhattacharya was carried away. So that's what happens in association. We need to be very, very careful. And not only that, we may take it for granted also. Here we see how Balabhadra Bhattacharya, Mahaprabhu is there, and he served Mahaprabhu nicely, but he taken him for granted at this particular point. So even in the association, that's what happens. When you see a person several times, you take them for granted. You think them, yes, same person, what was so great about him? So it's very easy to take people for granted. So that's why the spiritual masters, they don't keep the same secretary always. or same servant always. They keep changing them because, familiarity breeds contempt. We hear this statement, right? That's what happens. When we very closely associate with a spiritual master, we think that, oh, spiritual master, ordinary human being, he's also eating like me, he's also sleeping like me, he's also doing every activity like me. So what's so great about him? Why should I follow his instruction? So we may actually commit offense, aparad. That is why it is not so easy to do personal service to the spiritual master, because for that one has to be so matured, very, very deep and matured in their consciousness. Otherwise, we may mistake the spiritual master, or we may offend the spiritual master. We may be falling prostrate obeisances for 3-4 days. Say a spiritual master stays in a place for 1 month or 2 months. First of 3 days, 4 days, we will give so much respect. 5 days, or even probably 10 days. After that, okay, one time obeisance offering is okay. He's there only, here only. And then after that, we will think every day I'm seeing now. Okay, once in a while, if I pay obeisances, that's okay. Like that, it will become diluted and diluted and diluted. And then one day, we just casually look at him. We won't even bother to look at him. That is why the spiritual master also doesn't always come and give the association, because we will take them for granted. So it is very, very important that we need to be very careful in dealing with the spiritual master, with Krishna, of course, with the Vaishnavas as such. We have to be very careful. Otherwise, what happens is that familiarity, always seeing the same face, what is so great, and not only seeing the person, seeing that their instructions also will be, taken very, very casually. So that is why it's very important that if great personalities can get allured and bewildered, how much we should be very careful. And our senses, it is, it's like a people mistaking. Prabhupada also, mentions another analogy. From a distance, if you see a dry tree, a dried out tree, from a distance, it may look like a human being, look like a person. Like a rope can be mistaken for a snake, and a snake can be mistaken for a rope. Because the conditioned living entity has got 4 defects, right? The senses are imperfect. Our senses are imperfect. We can't see certain things beyond. The eyes cannot see beyond a range. The ears cannot hear beyond a frequency, right? The nose cannot smell beyond a distance. So we have this, our senses are imperfect. So what can we see from a distance, and how can we say that this is what is the truth? Seeing is believing is absolutely not a right thing. We all know that. And our illusion, we get very easily illusioned. And Prabhupada says the greatest illusion is we think we are this body and we are not the soul. That's the greatest illusion. And we have the cheating tendency. All the conditioned souls have got this cheating propensity in some degree or other. And and committing mistakes. To err is human, right? Forgive is divine, err is human. So human being means we commit mistakes. So when we have all these 4 defects, how can we actually, whatever we do is also full of defect only. Whatever we see is, a defective vision. So that's why we should not trust on ourselves. And that's why Prabhupada mentions we should, see through the eyes of the spiritual master, the self-realized souls. Because they are seeing through the eyes of the scriptures, Guru, Sadhu, Sastra. They are the, they should be the base for us to, verify anything, not our senses. Not that I feel like that, not that I see that like that, so everyone should accept that as a truth. We base our conclusions on the basis of the verdict of scriptures, Vedic scriptures. So Guru speaks what is in the scriptures, and the Sadhu speaks what is in the scriptures. So that should be our verifying point. So Srila Prabhupada mentions that, so we should see through the eyes of the self-realized spiritual masters who are seeing through the eyes of the scriptures. And then we should accept someone as an avatar or someone as Krishna or whatever it is. Not that I saw and I decide and then I actually spread that rumor around. That is totally misleading people, So this point Srila Prabhupada again and again brings here. So that is very important for us. So beware of Maya. We should be very careful, and we should be very scared of Maya also. Srila Prabhupada said we should be sufficiently scared. Because that is a good kind of fear. We should not have fear in general, but good fear is good. Say, for example, if a child, is not having a fear to touch a fire, then that is very dangerous for the child. The child should feel, oh, if I touch fire, it will, burn me. That's a good fear. So we should have good fear. And, being scared of Maya is a good fear, so that we will not commit mistakes, and we will not end up doing things which are not good for us. So that is good fear. So here, that's what happened. Balabhadra Bhattacharya got completely allured, and Mahaprabhu very mercifully corrected him. And then later, Balabhadra Bhattacharya came to senses and asked forgiveness. So that's what we could see here. And Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Lord Krishna himself. That scriptures also. Can you see this slide, Prabhu? Karthik Prabhu, are you able to see this one or the early slide? What slide you are seeing now?
Sri Krishna, Srimati Radharani.
Very good. Thank you, Prabhu. Because sometimes it gets frozen. So thank you. So Sri Krishna plus Srimati Radharani is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Radha Krishna, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahiyanya, the combined form, right? So then the few intelligent people, who are there, they say, yes, we have seen Krishna because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you are there. You are there. You are the Krishna himself. But those days, there was one kind of understanding going on in the impersonalist sannyasis. The sannyasis, Mayavadi sannyasis, they considered that they are also Narayana. That's why when they see each other, they greet each other as, Narayana. Why? Because they think you are Narayana, I am Narayana, and everyone is Narayana, which is absolutely wrong. And this impersonalist philosophy is that, you are God, I am God, everyone is God, and God has no form. And even if there is a form, it is a temporary form. And when you get evolved and matured, then there is no form, and that is a Brahman. The Brahma Jyoti is the highest. That is the conception of the Mayavadi sannyasis. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu want to kind of smash this idea of equating the jivas with God. Conditioned soul can never become God. And God is God, and the conditioned soul is always a servant of God. So Mahaprabhu was giving a lot of wonderful, examples, analogies to make them understand. And he was telling that how the sunshine molecule is a part and parcel, of the sun, but yet it cannot become sun. Similarly, he was saying the spark of the fire, it is a spark of the fire, but the spark cannot become the fire. So like that, Mahaprabhu will give a lot of wonderful explanation and make them understand that a jiva can never become God. Dvaita. It is not Advaita, because Advaita means God and the soul are same, and the God and jiva are same. No, God and jiva are different, because a conditioned human being, however, becomes elevated, can never become God. That's why Srila Prabhupada mentioned a soul can become, godly, but he can never become God. We can develop godly qualities, but we cannot become God. God is God. So that's why Prabhupada was always emphasizing the point that one who claims himself as God is not Jivodi, he is devotee. And he always, was, having this mood, and he was always kind of establishing this point that we are servant of God. We are trying to be servant of God. Jivera Swarupa Hoy Krishnera Nitya Das. Eternally we are servant. We can never become master. We are not masters. Master is only the Lord. So that is the point. It was mentioned by Mahaprabhu. So he was then Chaitanya. Then the devotees, they said that Mahaprabhu, you are Supreme Lord. And they were actually proving with many points. Let's see what are those. Akriti Prakriti. You are not an ordinary human. You are like Krishna in every respect, in both bodily features and characteristics. So Mahaprabhu, we saw this in our one of the early slides of Gaur Purnima slide about Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu's bodily features, beautiful Anga Lakshana, and characteristics, amazing sweet characteristics of the Lord. So when we see that, it is no ordinary human being can possess those bodily beauty and bodily features, neither those characteristics, which is exclusively only the Lord can have. The Lord's eyes, ears, nose, all this bodily beauty definitely confirms he is a Supreme Lord, and his wonderful, compassionate, extraordinary features and activities, pastimes, also proved that, you are the Supreme Lord. So this is a point like this. There are making many points. Your bodily features, we can see that you are none other than the son of Nanda Maharaj. Although the golden luster of your body has covered your original complexion, Shama Sundara has become Gaura Sundara, the blackish blue boy now has become the golden complexion Mahaprabhu, because of taking the mood of Srimati Radharani, who is Gaurangi. He became Gauranga. Then unconcealed Prakriti. What is that? Very beautiful analogy. As the aroma of deer musk cannot be concealed by wrapping it in a cloth, your characteristics as a Supreme Personality of God, it cannot be concealed by any means. The musk deer. This musk deer has got a very special aroma in his body. That's why the musk oil, the musk perfume, very famous. And this musk deer, it is actually originally coming from the body of the musk deer only. In another place, Prabhupada mentions this musk deer is so foolish that it is thinking, oh, what a wonderful fragrance coming. Where is it coming? And it runs around the entire forest looking for this fragrance, where it is coming from. Actually, the musk deer is so ignorant that it is not aware that it is coming from his own body. Because it is such aromatic and fragrant that it is becoming mad after that fragrance, which is originally originating from his body itself. And this musk perfume is very, very wonderful. And if people put this musk deer and put the cloth around and wrap it, nobody can conceal that that fragrance, because it is just beyond all this. It will automatically anyway spread around. Similarly, they are saying, Mahaprabhu, you may conceal because you are Channa avatar. Why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's avatar is not known to many people? Because the scriptures also declare there is a Channa avatar, it's a hidden avatar. Even though it's like a hidden, still it is coming out. Just like the musk deer perfume, you cannot hide. You cannot hide within a cloth. Similarly, you may be a Channa avatar, but no, your glories cannot be hidden. So that's the point they are making here. And your characteristics are uncommon and beyond the imagination of an ordinary living being. Simply by seeing you, the entire universe becomes mad with ecstatic love for Krishna. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to take Sudarshan Chakra, or you don't have to give an explanation. You don't have to do anything. Just by looking at you, your beautiful bodily features. Sundara Bala Sachidulala, we sang. From the childhood, Mahaprabhu is so beautiful. So just by looking at your beauty, everyone is, they become, Mahaprabhu will look at, they will be, they will get ecstatic love. And that person, when he goes and looks at somebody, and they will get ecstatic like that, it's like a chain. It is so, what do you call that? It's kind of very, very, very easily, people get into that mood. That is a power of Mahaprabhu, the potency of Mahaprabhu, that he can empower one person, and that one person can actually empower many persons. Not that Mahaprabhu has to personally go. In that way, village after village, many people were becoming wonderful Vaishnavas. Who can do that? If I look at anyone, or any ordinary human being, if they look at anyone, no one is going to change. But the Lord has a potency that by looking at someone, he can infuse that Krishna prema within their hearts. So, Darshana, just by seeing you once, even women, children, old men, meat eaters, and members of the lower caste immediately chant the holy name of Krishna, dance like madmen, and become spiritual masters capable of delivering the whole world. So actually, there is at one point in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is mentioned that when Mahaprabhu was traveling, in some places where the women wanted to see, the women in the palace, they wanted to see Mahaprabhu, but they cannot come, right? Because he's a sannyasi. So they were carried in a palanquin, and from a distance, they will be seeing Mahaprabhu. From the distance, when they see Mahaprabhu from the palanquin, just by seeing his bodily effulgence and beauty and his ecstatic love, the women gets very attracted. Attracted means attracted to his devotional ecstasy, and even they fell from the palanquin. Like that kind of a descriptions are written. So that's the potency of Mahaprabhu, that he changed everyone. He changed Jagai Madai, who were drunkards. He changed Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Prakashananda Saraswati, all this hardcore impersonalist. He changed the heart of simple people like this Rajput Krishnadas, and simple personalities. Vasudeva Vipra, who was his heart, leprosy, and he hugged him, and the leprosy went off. So we see that all kinds of people, from logicians to simple people to householders, everyone got liberated. And children, Narayani was a niece of Shiva's Pandit. Shiva's Pandit's niece name is Narayani. She was a very small girl, small child. And that time Mahaprabhu, she was seeing the dance, the ecstatic kirtan and dancing of Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu gave his remnants to Narayani. That's all. She was only a 5-year-old girl. And just by eating the remnants of Mahaprabhu, she was dancing in ecstasy, and he was completely, infused with Krishna Prema. And Narayani delivered this very great personality, Vrindavan Das Thakur, who wrote Chaitanya Bhagavat. So even a child, women, doesn't matter, no discrimination. Mahaprabhu gave his mercy freely without discriminating who is qualified, who is not qualified. Is it a woman? Is it a man? Or is it a child? Or is adult? He did not see any of these difference. Or he's a king, or he's a beggar. Doesn't matter. No qualification required. And he never, patra, apatra, like the Maharaj was mentioning, he did not look into any qualification, and he just gave this great treasure of Krishna Prema freely to everyone. Who can do that? So that's a point is mentioned that just by seeing you once, even women, children, old men, meat eaters, and members of the lower caste immediately chant the holy name of Krishna, dance like madmen, and become spiritual masters capable of delivering the whole world. That's the potency. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he infused Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya dancing like a madman, going around and giving Krishna Prema to everyone. So like that, whomever he infused, they went and gave Krishna Prema to everyone. That's a potency. So for us also, when we become more conscious of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and we take his instructions, to our heart, chanting Krishna, Hare Krishna mantra, worshipping Krishna, and reading the scriptures, whatever instruction Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu also gave this very powerful instruction: I am the only gardener. How many fruits alone I can distribute? So I want more hands. Mahaprabhu called everyone, please come and assist me, help me. So that is all about preaching, sharing Krishna consciousness to others. So when we give that, we become very pleased, and Mahaprabhu will empower us. Actually, see this Bhakti Vriksha, all this, it is actually the mercy of Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu empowered all our acharyas, and Srila Prabhupada gave the Senapati, my Senapati Bhakta will come and flood the whole world with Krishna consciousness. Mahaprabhu predicted that. And Srila Prabhupada came to the Western world and gave nook and corner, Africa, America, every place, London, everywhere, all over the world, Prabhupada established Krishna consciousness. And later, the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, the glorious disciples of Srila Prabhupada, who are selflessly serving, even though you see they are in the age of 75, 70, 80 years old, almost 70, they cross 70. And even with so much of challenge, bodily challenge, they are traveling all over the world, giving this Krishna consciousness to everyone. So they are all, that's what, they become spiritual masters capable of delivering the whole world. So we have to grab that mercy. We can also, in a tiny way, grab that mercy, and we can actually, spread, because Mahaprabhu says, how many fruits I can distribute. So we all can go there, and we also can go and, assist Mahaprabhu, in giving these fruits to many people, and many people are waiting, who will come and give me the fruit. So we all can become those assistants and servants of this glorious Guru Parampara, and we can also take one fruit and go behind them, and and then give. So in that way, each and every one of us, Mahaprabhu said, Yare dekho tare kaho Krishna upadesh, Amara agya hoy taro guru hoy taro he desh. So he said that you become, whomever you see, talk about Krishna, and then by my order you become guru, you become a spiritual master, you become a teacher, and then you deliver the whole world. So Mahaprabhu's instruction to every single one of us. So when we take that instructions, we all will be empowered, to give this mercy to everyone. We may not be able to do the way they did it, and we do not have to underestimate. When Mahaprabhu empowers, a blind can see stars, a lame can cross mountains, a dumb can speak eloquently. That is what is all about. Mukam karo divachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripa tamaham mande shi gurum dheeratarinam paramananda madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. So when Lord Chaitanya empowers us, doesn't matter, we are all of the dumbs, but we will speak eloquently because of his mercy. We may be blind, but we can see stars. We may be lame, but we will be able to cross mountains. We may not have any qualification. We may not know how to organize things. We may not know how to, talk from scriptures. We may not know how to sing properly. We may not know how to preach or share Krishna consciousness, or we may not know how to really cultivate and look after devotees, but he will empower us. He will give us a mercy, and through his representatives. So we all can become those powerful, useful, empowered instruments in the hands of Guru and Gauranga. So this is a need of the hour. Today's world, everyone is burning in this forest fire of material existence. So much of, in the Facebook, everyone is smiling, but behind there are so many sad stories. So many sad stories. Personally, I saw many happy pictures in the Facebook, but those people have approached us sharing their sad stories. So do not be bewildered. Do not be carried away by this external looks, external smiles. There are many things behind. So we want to help. We want to be those instruments trying to help others. When we help others, we are helped. Automatically we are helped. When we worry about the problems of other devotees, when we try to help other devotees, when we try to help other people, you see that Krishna helps us so much. So this is a potency of Mahaprabhu, that each and every one of us can become empowered servants, in the mission of Srila Prabhupada. Apart from seeing you, whoever listens to your holy name is made mad with ecstatic love for Krishna and is able to deliver the three worlds simply by hearing your holy name. Dog eaters become holy saints. Your uncommon potencies cannot be described in words. Mahaprabhu's bodily beauty is so attractive and is changing the hearts of people and transforming the people. Not only his bodily beauty, and the Nam, the Rupa, Nama, Rupa, Guna, and Leela. The name, the form, the qualities, the pastimes of the Lord are so wonderful, so amazing. It can just, cleanse our dirty heart and can awaken, our dormant love for Krishna. And it can give so much of bliss, because everyone has got so much of adhyatmik, adibautik, adidevik miseries are always coming and hitting. Like, this Ukraine, no one expected. No one expected that such a thing would happen. All of a sudden, that a war would come and, people would be like kind of put in such a misery. Who expected that? No one expected. So this adhyatmik, adibautik, adidevik, it's not giving a notice that I am coming, it is coming without notice. So no one can expect what is coming at what time. So we all need shelter. And where we take shelter, The shelter is the lotus feet of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And how do we take shelter? Looking at his beautiful form. So that's why they come in the beautiful Acha. We may say that, oh, I am not in the time of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yes, that's why they are in the beautiful Acha Vigraha. Beautiful Pancha Tattva is here. Beautiful Chaitanya is there in Gaur, in many places. We see in the Mayapur Dham, beautiful Pancha Tattva. And we have here Pancha Tattva also as manifested for all of us. So the beautiful form of the Lord. And then his name, he has come to give this holy name to all of us. That's one of the main reasons Mahaprabhu came also on the Advaita Acharya's request. The Nama, the holy name is so potent, that it can actually, even a meat, it said dog eaters become holy saints. We saw this pastime of how Valmiki before became Valmiki. He was a hunter. And we know that how, by the mercy of Narada Muni, he chanted the holy name of the Lord and he became a great saint. Right? We saw that. So similarly, many personalities, we see that how they were before, and just by the holy name, they completely became. That's why Haridas Thakur, Brahma himself, he requested the Lord, my dear Lord, I want to come in a very, come down into this material world in a very humble mood. And I want to serve you, perform menial service. So he came as Haridas Thakur and chanted 3 lakh times the holy name of the Lord as a Nama Acharya. So potent is the holy name. We can never underestimate it. Such a medicine Mahaprabhu has given. We have to just take and tightly grab this holy name. By chanting every day and praying to the mercy of the holy name. See, I am going through whatever problems we have, whatever difficulties we have, whatever, state of, whether it's a happy or sad, we can pour all our problems to the holy name. Pray to the holy name. My dear Harinam Prabhu, please bless me. Please help me to cross over these obstacles and, help me to fix my mind at your lotus feet. So we can pray to the holy name, very powerful, and holy name instantly reciprocates. The holy name is powerful than Krishna, because when, very beautifully someone said that, this is mentioned that, one Brahmana, he was actually, very, Lord Rama was, in Lord Ram's pastimes, we see that Lord Rama will be actually, what happened was Lord Rama was very disturbed after this war, after Ravana was killed and all that. He was thinking for one lusting man that the entire Lanka, has to be destroyed. So Lord Rama, being very compassionate, was thinking that so many people, have to be killed. So he felt very bad, and then he took his bow and arrow. I mean, actually, it was like he was carrying some sword or something. He put that on the earth. He went and took a bath in the ocean, and he was coming back. And then when he came back, he saw that the sword has got blood. When he took it back, there was blood in the front. So when he saw the blood, he was saying, that it was actually a frog, was there, in the mud, and he didn't know that, and he kept that sword on. It actually penetrated. It's dead. So he was saying that at least you should have made a sound that I would not have killed you. I didn't know that, I am actually putting my sword on you. You should have cried or said some words so that, I was aware that you are not there, and I would not have done this to you, that I have harmed you. So the frog would say that whenever I was in trouble, I was calling Rama's name. But now Rama himself is coming and, kind of harming me. What name could I take shelter of? So here we see that all the Rama is there. Even when you see the Lanka's pastime, when the monkey army wanted to go to Lanka, what happened? Everyone was putting that stone, and the stone was going inside the water. And as soon as they put the name of Lord Rama written on the stone was floating, right? When Rama was asking, and when Rama put the stone sank. The Rama's name was so powerful that it was floating, and they could make a, bridge out of it and cross the Lanka. So the Lord's name is very, very powerful than the Lord himself. and Lord cannot be approached very easily. Even to go to a temple, we have to take a bath, and the temple should be open, and then only we can go and see the Lord. But for the holy name, we don't need to wait for any temple. We can sit and chant the name. Even it is mentioned that, in Mahaprabhu's pastime, one person was, passing, was passing stool and urine, and he was still chanting the name of the Lord, and he was trying to, press his teeth so much that, he should not, tell the name of the Lord, because it's something dirty job he is doing. But then one little boy came and said that, why you have to, press your tongue? Because, I don't want the Lord's name to be told when I am doing something, which is not a very clean thing. But then he said that if you pass away, if you die at this point, then without telling the name of the Lord, what will happen to you? Where will you go? So the Lord's name never gets contaminated. That's a wrong conception that, if I chant the Lord's name in a dirty place, it is Lord's name is above all these offenses. Anywhere and everywhere we can chant. Doesn't matter whether it's a dirty place, clean place, whether we are dirty, we are clean, doesn't matter. Happy, sad, nothing is an impediment to chant the holy name of the Lord. So holy name can be accessed any moment, night, midnight, 12 o'clock, early morning, evening, anytime. But for a temple or to see the form of the Lord, we have restrictions, right? So the name is so powerful. So we can chant the holy name, we can take shelter of the holy name, and then we see that in our life, the Lord actually removes all those miseries, so many sinful things, and the holy name is so powerful. Mountain-like sins can be washed off. That is the power of the holy name in Kali Yuga. That is the one good quality in Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is full of fault, but there is one good quality, is just by chanting the holy name of the Lord, mountain-like sins can be, washed off, can be just burnt to ashes. Kalirdoshe nide rajan asihi etat mahadgunan kitna deva krishnasya mukta sangha param drijeta. Kalirdoshe nidhi rajan. So this Kali is full of dosha, full of fault. But as one mahad guna is there, one great guna, quality of Kali Yuga. That's why even demigods want, devatas want to come to the Kali Yuga, because one very great, easy way of approaching the Lord is there. Not like, performing austerities and tapasyas for so long. We don't have to do all those things, because in Kali Yuga, nothing can be done. And the Yuga Dharma is just chanting the holy name. So your holy name is so powerful, my dear Lord, that it can make even the most fallen person to be a most elevated person. So that is your Nama Shakti. Bhakti Darshana, even a low-born person is elevated by seeing your devotional ecstasy. So these glories of yours are only marginal. Originally, you are the son of Maharaj Nandai. Why we have to say all these things? These are all just a little, it is like, spark of the fire. And these are all little glories what we are talking about. But you are actually originally the Supreme Personality of God, Shri Krishna himself, the son of Nanda Maharaj. So like that, they are glorifying and telling to Mahaprabhu, you are Nanda, don't cheat us. That you are, in the form of a devotee, you are coming, and don't cheat us that, you're just an ordinary human being. We know you are the Supreme Lord, non-different from Krishna. There are many more slides which we are not going to see now. We will see next week. But I want to make this point is that how important is the holy name, how important the form of the Lord, name of the Lord, the qualities of the Lord, the pastimes of the Lord. When we keep seeing the Lord, chanting the name of the Lord, hearing the pastimes of the Lord, all the dirty things in our heart will get vanished gradually. That is for sure, 100% it is guaranteed. And that's what all the scriptures have shown, so many examples of personalities, and it will happen for us also. We need to be patient, we need to be determined and enthusiastic to carry on. That's why we have all these facilities. We have japa sessions, Zoom japa, so many other things are there to encourage all of us to come together, inspire each other, so that we can take advantage of all that which we have got. Then we see that these are all the instruments the Lord is giving. We are telling so many problems are there in our lives. These are the things to take shelter of. How can we get rid of problems? The problems are coming because of our past life, whatever things we have done. But how to overcome it? The Lord is giving all the solution, and it's not very difficult. Simple solutions. And especially when we take a part in helping others, that's where our problem. Otherwise, when we are in our own house, when we think our own problem, our own life, then every problem will look like a very big mountain. But when we start to help others, extend help to others, hear others' problems, and try to help others, and the Krishna can give them the confidence of Krishna. Krishna is there to help you. When we say 10%, Krishna is there to help you. Krishna will give you mercy. Do not worry, take shelter. Then automatically our faith will increase 10 times more. But if we don't share that with anybody, we don't hear anyone's problems. But when we always think about our own problems, then every problem will look like a big problem and never gets, it takes its own time to, kind of solve. But when we start to, help others, Krishna sees that how the soul is extending himself or herself to others, then automatically so much mercy we can attract. That's one way we can very easily attract the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Not just Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Before Mahaprabhu, all the acharyas will be pleased, and they will recommend to Mahaprabhu, please shower the mercy. And in that way, our life will become very meaningful, purposeful. We will become more happy, and our problems will automatically get solved. Majority of the times we see that automatically by the time you come back, oh yeah, it's gone. So the Lord will extend himself. So we have a great opportunity this Saturday, coming Saturday. This Harinama Sankirtan, devotees from Soho temple are coming. What a wonderful opportunity, and coming, dancing, singing, dancing with the devotees in the Ilford, near the Ilford area, distributing books. As we said, this is that mercy we want to distribute to everyone. We will feel very happy at the end of the day, whether we are helping others or not. Just by doing this activity, at the end, we feel so much of bliss. We feel so much of happiness. That happens. I heard in one of the examples, Her Grace Nitai Sevani Mataji was giving this example of the sprinkler, yes, rose water sprinkler. She was telling when she was a young girl, in the marriages, she was given that service, and she would sprinkle on everyone. And she was saying, by the end, I would see that my whole body is fragrant because all that has fell on me. Similarly, this spreading Krishna consciousness, sharing Krishna consciousness is such a sweet and wonderful service. Just by giving that to others, we feel so enlivened. We feel so happy, so blissful. So this is a wonderful opportunity for all of us who are here today in the call. Please come over, for this weekend. It is a Sankirtan party. We have so many parties, and this is a very special party, Sankirtan party. And we are not alone. Devotees from the Soho temple are coming, such exalted, very nice, wonderful Vaishnavas. We can take their association. Last time when they came also, it was so ecstatic, dancing, singing, and everyone, and so many public came forward. They were listening the holy name. So when we become instruments for others to hear the holy name, and Srila Prabhupada books in everyone's hand, and it's a magic, right? Many people, just by getting Prabhupada books, their life got transformed. So why not we become those instruments, and we also become happy? It's not an austere thing. So we request each and every one of you, please kindly come for the Saturday Harinam Sankirtan party, and nice prasadam is also there. Chanting, dancing, and feasting. Very simple. So this is beautiful. So we are going to have a wonderful kirtan, dancing, and distributing books along with the devotees. And then we will have a very big feast, prasadam. We are very thankful to Ujjvala Mataji and the team of devotees who are going to make prasadam, for all of us. So we have to just come. See, everything free of cost. Devotees are coming, giving all the encouragement. Someone is bringing the books, someone is giving prasadam. We have to just come and spend just a few hours. And we see that, and it's not that you have to be there from the beginning to end. If you can, great. Children also you can bring, and they can happily give out. So everyone is welcome. So we humbly request all of you, please come. It will, and the more the people, more the merry. More joy, more happy. When you see so many devotees coming together, it's such a joyful thing, and many more souls can be reached out also. So many more books can be given out, and the Sankirtan will be even more wonderful and sweeter to hear. So we humbly request all of you, to kindly come and join this Maha Harinam Sankirtan party on Saturday, 10:30 a.m. Ilford Exchange Mall in front. We are all gathering, and then a couple of hours of book distribution, chanting, dancing, and we will be having prasadam after that. So this is our humble request, and this is a takeaway, wanting to give out the mood of today. We saw Rajput Krishnadas pastime, mood of being a servant of a Vaishnava, servant. So this is also servant of Srila Prabhupada. When we do book distribution, he becomes very pleased. Servant of Srila Prabhupada and all the acharyas. This is what they want us to do. So when we do that, we are pleasing Mahaprabhu, and automatically we will get his mercy so much. So thank you all for joining today, and we will continue. And next week is a very wonderful pastime. How the Pathan soldiers, they got transformed. Brajuli Khan and many other personalities, just by looking at Mahaprabhu, their heart got transformed and they all became wonderful Vaishnavas. So we are going to see how the Pathan soldiers, they became devotees in next week, Monday class, and Monday very special. It's a Ekadasi as well. So please join. And before that, this coming Friday, we have Shiva's Pandit Appearance Day, which is going to be an online central Zoom call. We will be sharing that. Vivek Prabhu will be sharing. Every one of us going to come, because Shiva's Pandit is one of the Panchatattva, none other than Narada Muni himself. And what did he do? Shiva Sangan, full dancing and Kirtan only. Mahaprabhu was doing this nocturnal Sankirtan in the night. Every close associate would all come and they would chant and dance. It's a very confidential singing and dancing, allowed only for the close, intimate, pure devotees of the Lord. Prema Sankirtan. So Shiva Sangan is such a very dear place to Mahaprabhu, where he is eternally residing. And Shiva's Pandit is very, very dear to the Lord. And his appearance day is coming on the Friday. And because we have now Panchatattva, we are going to have a special Abhishek for Shiva's Pandit. And also in the evening, because it's a working day, in the evening, anyway, many of you have Bhakti Vrikshas. So we are going to bring together all the Bhakti Vrikshas, all the programs together. And we will have Kirtan for 1 hour, because the Shiva Sangan is full of Kirtan. So there is going to be a special Kirtan for 1 hour. Different dams will do Kirtans, and then there will be a short class about beautiful pastimes that happen in Shiva Sangan. Very sweet. How Dukhi became Sukhi, a distressed person become a blissful person. Many, many sweet pastimes. So a short talk, and after that a rocking Kirtan, because Shiva Sangan is all about dancing party. So we are also going to have a Sankirtan dancing party that day. After the short talk, we are all going to raise up and stand up, and then we are going to do a rocking Kirtan, and then rocking Kirtan, and then of course and the next day is Harinam, live Kirtan. So this will be online Kirtan. Next day, live Kirtan in Ilford Exchange Mall. So I'll be sharing this link very soon. If you are a part of Bhakti Vriksha, of course, you will get that intimation. If you're part of any Bhagavad Gita preaching programs or Gita Gyan programs, you will also get your, your link. If it is not there, or if you know any of our devotees, you can write to them and they will share. So please get ready for the rocking Kirtan. Finish your dinner before the Friday. Get ready so that you can relish the Kirtan, listen some pastimes, and then everyone, children, adults, everyone, we are going to dance. So hope you're all ready for it. And thank you so much for joining today. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Hari Bol. Vivek Prabhu, you have any announcements? I will show Jagannath Darshan and end here.
Yes, Mataji. So I think you have covered all the 3 things. So 25th, we have Shiva's appearance day. We will do it on Zoom from 7:30. 26th, we have Harinam Sankirtan. As Mataji said, we need more and more devotees. We can, it can be a great Sankirtan festival of starting this year. We couldn't do anything this year, so but at least in the end of March, we can do. And on 27th, we have Japa Zoom Marathon, Zoom Japa Marathon. So from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 28th, as Mataji said, we will have again our weekly class, special class. So all the 4 days are fully booked for us. So 25, 26, 27, 28. So please keep joining these events. It's for everyone. So I'm just bringing in the chat also what are the timings and date for these events. So do not miss these events. And a special request for joining in the Sankirtan party at Ilford High Street. You will get this information from your Dham service leader or information leader for getting it. So hopefully it will have a great Sankirtan. So Brahmachari are coming and we will have a nice renown there. So if you have a kartal or any musical instrument, you can also bring it. And now we can see the Lord Jagannath, Baldev. Jai Jagannath, Jai Baldev, Jai Subhadra.
Hari Bol.
Jai Jagannath. Jai
Maharani ki Jai.
Jai.
This is the Gaud Purnima outfit. Actually, I don't know how much it shows in the picture. Very grand, beautiful outfit. From Vrindavan, given by Malik Prabhu, Veena Mataji, and Rajendra Prabhu and family. So very, very, very beautiful outfit. Peacock outfit. And Mahaprabhu. And so many wonderful devotees did wonderful seva. We thank all the devotees for your for sponsoring and for all the sevas that you have done for Gaud Purnima. Our prayers to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for your family and for all your well-being and and to shower unlimited blessings upon all of you. Hari Hari Bol. So thank you very much. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani Sudarshan Chakra ki Jai. Nidai ki Jai. Avatar Pancha Tattva ki Jai. Jai. Special Gauranga balloon.
Hari Bol.
Yeah. Thank you all. Looking forward to see all of you this Friday for Shiva's Pandit's appearance day. Hari Hari Bol. Rocking Kirtan. Be ready for it. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna. Hari Bol. Jai Krishna.
Jagannath.
Hari Bol.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, everyone.